So anyway, so the thing is, to me, it just bugs me too that all that political maneuvering, and it's not De La Ghost is just symptomatic that they've become that and they were something else. So I have all of these thoughts about it. But really, I mean, focusing down, the thing is like I don't believe in classified information. Okay, what I did find at Daily Kos in terms of the WikiLeaks thing, is someone saying, various things questioning it, maybe because they don't have balance. Which the head of WikiLeaks had a good answer. He's like, yeah, we're not balanced. We're fair. Nobody's ever found us wrong in our facts, but balance. You don't have to balance a truth with a bunch of lies on the other side. You just don't have to do that. And I really believe that guy when he said that too, because when I saw that video, I thought there were no weapons. Those guys that got shot had no weapons. It was because I saw an interview on YouTube or wherever I saw it of the guy, the WikiLeaks site guy, saying, well, there were some weapons in there. I looked closer and I saw the AK-47. I saw the rocket launcher. This guy is honest. He's not an extreme fire. And that's balanced enough. That's what you really want. Okay. So one person was like, making a big apology for why, like, I'm paraphrasing, but like, why WikiLeaks is a necessary evil. Why we actually do. It's unfortunate, but we do need WikiLeaks. It's not fucking unfortunate. Are you goddamn nuts? We always need patriots that'll fucking take information about criminal things the government does and put them in the front. For those of you who think, no, the first thing you do is keep classified information sacred. If some petty bureaucrat you never even fucking heard of that's fucking an idiot classifies it, by God, that's the most important first thing to the first order. After that, maybe we need WikiLeaks. Yeah, maybe it's a necessary evil. Fuck that bullshit. This shit should all be out in the open. Okay, that's the first order. The second order is, okay, there is a reason, unfortunately, that we have to classify some information, but a lot less than most of you all think. My opinion, we only need to classify information that endangers individuals or violates their rights, their privacy rights. So, for example, I don't believe in covert operations that do illegal things like assassinate someone. See, we have laws in this country. If the U.S. breaks the law and there's a video of it, a government person breaks the law and there's a video of it, and they classify it, what the fuck? We have laws. That's us saying what we think is in our interest. You break that, you fail. Hiding that is not in public interest. If it was anything besides the military, people wouldn't even think twice about that. Some cops go shoot up a whole neighborhood. Ooh, there's a film of it. Oh, national security, that'll embarrass the nation. Fuck you. It embarrasses the nation when you hide that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it is in the military. Now, I will say, I don't really support covert operations, but I do think, okay, let's say you send, 100 people to go live in North Korea, and they infiltrate, and they can't say they're Americans. They're not allowed to be there. But that's not really breaking an American law, and they go over there, and their purpose is to put their ear to the ground and see how much these people are hearing about Western news and see what's going on like that. And then they report, hey, this is the attitude of the real people, so we can find out what the people think on the street, as opposed to what the press releases of the North Korean government. Fine, don't release those people's name. They're in there. It would endanger them, and you don't need to do that. Okay, but that's the exception. That's the necessary evil. No, we do not need the whole covert, and people, and I remember when I was young thinking, oh no, you have to have it. No, you don't. You don't. It's all a mental hang up and psychosis thinking that the government has to be allowed to lie to us to protect us. We're not fucking baby children, okay? This can all, you don't need security through obscurity is the cheapest, weakest kind of obscurity. Because the people really interested in breaking through your security, it's not fucking obscure to them. Okay, they can find out what the obscurity is. The obscurity persists only for people like ordinary citizens that have every right to know what some common political criminal might know. So that's how I feel about that. Now, on the other subject, Senator Byrd, he croaked. Now, I used to feel like everybody else. When someone dies, even a stranger, you got to say nice lies about them. Now, I still believe that in my personal life. If Uncle Blue Tard was an asshole, probably at his funeral, I'll hold my tongue. But I'll tell you what, I won't say he sure was loving. Okay, so fucking Bird dies, and he's a political figure. I think putting political figures on the death pedestal is the fucking stupidest thing in the world. You need to learn lessons. Okay, now, let me tell you about Robert Byrd. He was a fucking prick, and he's a great speaker. No, he was not a great speaker. He was long-winded, boring piece of junk, you know? So I said that, and I felt a little bad, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to be honest. You guys are all saying how great he is, and we just lost a true statesman. A true statesman, because true statesmen start out in the KKK, oppose the civil rights legislation, and talk fucking endlessly, but won't filibuster a goddamn, Bush Supreme Court nominee. I'm sure he was a lovely guy. There are certain lovely things about him. He was obsessively of a miser, and lovely things like that. But whatever. But that's the funny thing. He's known as a very frugal. He brings his own bag bologna lunches and stuff, they say. But he was also the king of pork. King of pork. I mean, okay, I really don't like this guy. So somebody at Daily Kos is like, was very reasonable to my criticism, and instead of jumping me, which I really appreciated, because that's what I would expect from them. But they know he's, former KKK, so they figured they had to deal with it probably. But whatever, or maybe they're just decent people, and they just decided to discuss it with somebody that was contrary to them. And they sent me a link. Well, listen to this if you like, because I said, listen, okay, well, it's a satirical account there, so I said, it's traditional to lie about the dead, and I put in quotes, he was a great speaker. And the person's like, well, he was a great speaker. And I'm like, I don't think being long-winded and talking, and making obscure, pointless, mythology references is really that great speaking. Oh, well, then you'll love Byrd. Here's the link. And so I listened to the link, and sure enough, he goes off about that great apostle Paul and blah, blah, blah. I love the Greek references compared to his biblical references. The great apostle Paul. Oh, you mean the one that, like you, basically started out as a KKK member, the one that was persecuting Christians for his whole life, up to 30 years after Christ was dead. And then he co-opts the movement and says he's a Christian. Now that Christ is dead and can't have nothing to say about it, oh, he's a Christian, founds a fucking church. No, he's not that most wonderful apostle Paul, you dumb old KKK bastard. And I'm sorry to be this mean about the dead, but this is politics. This isn't your uncle. This isn't a TV newscaster. You know what? This isn't a TV newscaster. This is a politician. We need to have real ideas. We can't afford to have this bullshit. Oh, well, we won't say anything when he's alive because we want his vote. We won't say anything when he's dead because he's dead. And after he's dead, we'll just pine for how great of a statesman he was. Bullshit on that. That's not how politics fucking works. That's not what the Byrds do to everybody else. You think they give great respect, don't they? No. Screw that. I'm plenty respectful to him as living or dead, and realistic. He's a politician. He affected our nation greatly. He's been one of these guys in control for decades and decades, and look at his fucking accomplishments. All right? It's the world we live in today. Him, the other party, they've worked together to screw us over and made government into nothing but something that takes and takes and takes from us and does shit all. I mean, we've got him watching CNN tonight. We have... we won't. There's the Jones Act. We won't let foreign ships. BP's turning away foreign ships, and the ships can't come anyway because we have this Jones Act. You need a waiver to come into American waters and not land at a foreign port unless you have an American flag that you're flying under, and all of this stuff. And we can't cut the red tape and just do that. Listen, there is no breaks in politics, okay? I give people a pretty good break in philosophy. I talk to Christians. I give respect all around the go. But I'm not going to respect some guy in the Senate for 40 years, did shit all that I care about, fought civil rights, was a KKK member, fucking talked too much about the wrong goddamn things, so proud of his own goddamn thing. It's just ridiculous. Okay, you do not have to praise that. You should not praise that. And if you're having a gut feeling of, oh, but he did, and I have to say that, then that's your fucking programming, right? That's why you aren't free then. Seriously.